Rest in peace, Sly Stone, age 82. What can I say about this guy? I mean, he changed the course of music. Sly and the Family Stone, multiracial, multi um men and women. He, as far as I'm concerned, I've said this before. The most important band that America ever produced. Because of everything that was going on at its time. His approach to style, his approach to creation. Um, just truly a one of a kind. If you follow him, um, you knew it. All his impact on funk artists, and the stylings was evident. I mean, it's funny because people in the um, know who he is, but when we talk about the people who get sampled and et cetera, he never quite got his due. And I really feel that he's been kind of was underappreciated because he kind of more or less didn't pursue pushing out himself as much, kind of went recluse. But a man who changed the course of style and sound, a guy who fused R&B, funk, pop, gospel, blues, rock, folk, you name it, he could do it. He was really that and had had an impulse that tapped into the synergy of people, everyday people. He wrote songs, he created, um, he made statements, he made catchphrases, he made things that you had to adhere to. He was a walking encyclopedia of what was going on in the world. You name acts, you can see his influence and impact. Um, Earth, Wind, and Fire, who's my all-time favorite band, were inspired and packed by him. Palmer Funkadelic, P Funk was, you know, um, Ozzy Brothers were. All the funk acts owe him in depth. Pop acts too, you know. Um, Michael Jackson, a lot of that stuff that Jackson did because of the bringing the world together and talking about the causes and breaking down barriers. That's Sly and the Family Stone. A lot of Prince's revolution was Sly and the Family Stone. You think about all what Prince did. You watch an artist who wrote songs that expressed everyday life, that made you feel scenes, made you feel an energy, you know, wasn't afraid to speak out against what was going on, wasn't afraid to be a people's champion, took that role, you know. That's what the great ones do. That's what having that heartbeat, understanding um, the depths and the magnitude, you know. Um, just an incredible musical force. I can't even begin to say enough about what his music meant. And I give a shout out to Questlove for the documentary as well because it was well timed, which start off with the summer '69. It's always important that you tell these people that create this body of work thank you and appreciate their contributions because you never know. And I think Sly Stone was kind of taken for granted by so many people that because he lived a long time and he was kind of low key and recluse, but his impact musically, and of course I forgot to mention Rick James's impact was huge on Sly. You could tell by a lot of stuff that Rick James don't see a lot of that, you know, Barcades, Confunction, his impact was so reaching on so many, a whole genre of music, you know. I would almost venture to say that as far as funk music goes, Sly Stone was kind of like the Bob Marley of funk music. I would go in to say that because his cadences, his, influence on Roger Troutman and Zap too, the Ohio scene owes him a depth. Everyone owes him a depth in the land of funk. He really, but pop music does too. Because his stylings, when you hear Have Fun in the Summertime, when you hear the melodicness, the melody, you it's hard to just pinpoint because his musical reach was so wide. Incredible understanding of space and time. The way he could just the locks. When you had people like Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock acknowledging his music, and you know, I mean, I've different artists from different genres, Miles and Herbie, and I want to say Michael Franks too. I mean, just acknowledge him. You know, um, that kind of musical zenith was so it hit you in a way. It just and then you see like the later days of a Tony Tone from the Bay. You can just tell that reach, the offshoots of all that, what that band represented, what he meant as a band leader, as a singer, as a songwriter, musician, conceptualist. He really had the vision. He really had the soul, and he just hit you with that. He's truly, he's truly one of a kind. And I can't even begin because nobody who I listen to, but I've listened to, and no matter pretty much a lot of the genres, he was the person that was a direct link. And I always will say Sly and the Family Stone is the greatest band that America ever produced. And he's one of the greatest minds that ever produced music. So rest in peace to Sly Stone. And thoughts and prayers. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments. And I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. And stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. And he was always about standing up and speaking out and doing your thing and keeping it where everyday people could relate. Because it was about understanding everyday people and making yourself count because everybody is a star. I'm out.